Good morning. I would now like to begin where I had ended part 1 of Total Literacy Campaign under National Literacy Mission. Total literacy indicates that a large number of people in a particular project area have attained literacy according to certain prescribed norms. It does not mean that 100% of the population has become fully functionally literate according to prescribed norms. This has not been possible anywhere in the world till date. Even UNESCO views 100% literacy as neither feasible nor achievable. This is on account of the fact that a percentage of the population who cannot learn due to certain disabilities like dyslexia will have to be excluded. Ernakulam district of Kerala, for example, was a forerunner in successful literacy campaigns. Learners who were enrolled in TLC Ernakulam in 5 to 60 years age group achieved 90% and not 100% effective literacy. In other districts which followed suit, the effective rate of literacy achieved ranged between 80 to 90%. I would now like to share with you the rationale of having a ceremony for total literacy declaration. Achievement of total literacy status at the end of 1 year, which was the overall duration of a campaign, is followed by a total literacy declaration ceremony. The ceremony is intended to act as an assembly of numerous functionaries who have thought, planned and acted together with one energy, one voice and one conscience to bring the TLC to a successful close. It provides an outlet for their excitement and joy, their happiness and satisfaction. It also provides a forum for according public recognition of the honest, sincere, dedicated, selfless, voluntary work done by them. I would now like to share with you positive fallouts of the campaigns for total literacy as have been recorded. The positive fallouts of TLCs have been documented in numerous evaluation studies conducted by university departments of linguistics, departments of adult and continuing education, institutes of social science and research and individual professionals. Some of the important outcomes of the said evaluation under appropriate heads could be enumerated as under: enhancing social integration and inclusion. Representatives of the people, all sections of the civil society such as creative thinkers, writers, artists, scientists, technologists, social and educational activists come together, think together, plan and act together by a common cause, that is promotion of literacy, and pledge their solidarity and support to TLC despite differences in social origin and ideology. Second, learners belonging to different social groups, speaking different languages, professing different faiths, beliefs and ideologies come to learn under the common roof of a learning center. This promotes social, cultural, linguistic and emotional integration. The content of learning, which is in tune with the core values of national concern, is meant for promoting growth of an inclusive society, tolerance of different faiths, beliefs and ideologies, a rational, secular and scientific temper. Second, boosting confidence of the learners that they can learn, that they can achieve complete self-sufficiency in reading, writing and arithmetic. TLC carried hope, faith and conviction that learners, despite age and disability, despite social, economic and cultural heterogeneity, despite class, caste, gender and religious divide in a hierarchical and stratified social structure, can learn with a lot of excitement and joy, resilience and self-confidence. They can see for themselves the pace and progress of learning and sustain the motivation to learn and momentum of learning. They can retain and apply the benefits of learning in their day-to-day real life situations. Third, waging war against social evils. TLC has unleashed a war against fads, dogmas, mindsets, ill-perceived notions, obscurantist ideas and practices. It waged a war against social evils such as untouchability, early child marriage, Devdasi system, sex determination or amniocentesis, sex-based discrimination against girls by way of feticide, female infanticide, honor killing, etc. Sex-based discrimination against women, trafficking of girls and women, child labour and adult servitude or serfdom or bonded labour system, male addiction to alcohol resulting in economic ruination of families. Fourth, empowering women. Participation in a TLC both as learners and volunteer teachers made women more agile, more aware, more alert, more self-confident and more self-reliant physically and economically. The women who have come out of the narrow confines of their traditional households to have a better exposure to the outside world and to be on their own. When it comes to choosing between alternatives, they have been empowered enough to choose an alternative which will be in their best interest. Women learners in PMT Sivagangai, PMT stands for Pasumpan Muthuramlingam Thebar. The current name of the district is Sivagangai. Women learners in PMT Sivagangai district were given training in karate for self-defense, while women learners in Pudukkottai learned cycling to improve their mobility. Girls and women learners in Pudukkottai were imparted training in skill formation and upgradation for better employability. The skills were gem cutting and gem polishing, for an example. The dynamic collector and DM Pudukkottai, Srimati Silarani Sunkat, was instrumental in forming societies of women workers under DWACRA or Development of Women and Children in Rural Areas scheme, registering them under Tamil Nadu Societies Registration Act, giving priority in allotment of quarries to these societies under Tamil Nadu Minor Mineral Concession Rules 1959 and imparting training to the quarry workers in smooth, safe and efficient management of quarries. Eventually, 152 DWACRA groups with 4,500 members were allotted the quarries. The contractors from Salem, who hitherto were controlling these quarries as lessees, were replaced. An era of exploitation by these contractors came to an end and women workers eventually became the supervisors, managers and owners of the quarries. Enforcement of minimum wage under the Minimum Wages Act was possible as a result of cooperativization of the quarries. A silent revolution had taken place on account of the TLC. Fifth, providing a platform for development in other areas. The teaching learning process promoted and reinforced awareness which manifested itself in terms of a number of development parameters such as access to and retention in free and compulsory education of all children in 6 to 14 age group. Mothers in Midnapur district carried their children and went to Sabhadipati to demand 100% enrollment of all children. Immunization of pregnant mothers and children, health, hygiene, nutrition, environmental sanitation, maternity protection, child care, oral rehydration therapy or ORT, protection and conservation of environment. TLC exhorted all learners to live in complete harmony with nature and not to do anything which will cause degradation or degeneration of the environment. TLC promoted both planned parenthood as well as balanced family. It is important to understand what planned parenthood means. It means planning and limiting the size of a family, which is an important value in the core values of national concern. This is because a large and unplanned family in an unemployment or underemployment situation means less earning members, less income, more mouths to feed, children being pushed involuntarily to work or child labor, poverty and crippling of human resource. A balanced family in the TLC perspective and context would mean boys and girls are treated alike, men and women are treated alike, there is no compulsive obsession with male offsprings, there is no discrimination between boys and girls, men and women in matters of access to food, dress, education, health, medical care and so on. Sixth, integrating literacy with skill training. Such integration under TLC brought many advantages or dividends such as it enhanced and sustained motivation of the learner. It provided an economic incentive to literacy learning. It enhanced employability of literacy learners. Together with program literacy and financial literacy, it encouraged literacy learners to be economically self-reliant and learn to manage their own affairs on their own. Seventh, connecting administrators with grassroots level planning and action. The collector and DM is the key functionary in a district with sweeping powers to prevent breach of law and order, public order, peace and tranquility. The steel frame that he or she represented and maintained from colonial days was broken to a large extent as a result of participation or effective participation of the collector and DM in the TLC. Most of them, in a bid to establish better outreach with the people, moved in sun and shower, in muddy tracks, in inclement weather, to think, to reflect, to critically analyze, to objectivize along with the people as to what are the causes and contributory factors of their plight and predicament, and how these can be dealt with and effectively overcome. A new process of social communication had begun. The collector and DM, on account of intimate involvement with planning, mobilizing and coordinating various aspects of the campaign for total literacy in his or her district at the grassroots level, has been a changed person, completely positive, proactive, empathetic and sensitive to the people. This never happened before. Similarly, many other senior functionaries of district administration, like the chief executive officer of the Jilla Parishad, started identifying themselves totally with the TLC in their respective areas and eventually with the people for whom the TLC is intended. They started composing songs, slogans, skits, nukkad nataks, role plays and started staging performances along with the members of Kalajatha teams. 8th, TLC promoted cultural regeneration of the district. TLC brings together creative thinkers, writers, artists, environmentalists, social and educational activists to write skits and role plays, compose lyrics and themes for performances on the stage with literacy as the dominant theme. The histrionic talent and creativity of the people, which is absolutely unsuspected, have been brought to the surface and provided a stimulus to such cultural regeneration. 9th, emergence of grassroots level institutions. A number of grassroots level institutions such as village education committees emerged through which adult learners can transform themselves from mere beneficiaries to participants in a societal movement and manage their own affairs with strength, courage, resilience and confidence. Such VECs were envisaged as important grassroots level institutions in the National Educational Policy of 1986 and the program of action which was formulated thereunder. VECs were to shoulder direct responsibility for management of primary and elementary education and adult education. Under the TLC, VECs have emerged as important participatory structures at the village level for management of village level institutions. There are a few other redeeming features which are extremely exciting and interesting. First, the setting Mehboob Nagar district, one of the predominantly forest, tribal and backward districts of Andhra Pradesh. There is a widow who is 70-year-old. She is from the family of a landless agricultural labourer and she started attending a learning center in that district. Now, when I had the opportunity and privilege of meeting her and interacting with her, she came out so clearly and convincingly. Hitherto I thought I was alone in this world. Today I do not think that I am alone. Today, with this slate and the primer, I have discovered a silent companion, a window of communication to the world outside. What a profound exposition of a helpless widow attending a literacy learning center to the outside world. The grit, the courage, the determination and the fearlessness that participation in campaign for total literacy activity has generated in her. Second, the setting Dobigutta village of Nellore district, adult literacy learning center. There is a lesson in Telugu primer which is being effectively imparted by the literacy instructor. Now, the story reads like this, that here is a woman who is driven to desperation on account of her husband's addiction to alcohol. She makes entreaties, but these entreaties have no effect on him. The addiction to alcohol continues unabated. So, she is driven to desperation and eventually commits suicide. And such is the powerful or telling manner in which the lesson was imparted that it gave birth to an anti-Arak agitation. Subsequently, the agitation spreads to all the villages in all the 23 districts of the undivided Andhra Pradesh then like a wildfire. Such is the impact of this women's movement against male addiction to alcohol that the government of the day is forced to go in for total prohibition within the state with effect from 2nd October 1992, the birth anniversary of the father of the nation. The next, the setting Raichur. An Akshar Kalajatha is being performed by a BGVS Akshar Kalajatha team of artists. Now, they try to link landlessness, drought, indebtedness and illiteracy obtaining in the area to bondage. Now, the people who are watching this are mostly landless agricultural laborers and they start crying. I happen to be present on this occasion. I approach them and ask them in Hindi, which is translated to them in Kannada, that why have they started crying. They tell me in Kannada, which is conveyed back to me in Hindi, that this had never happened before in their lives. It is for the first time that they see an Akshar Kalajatha being performed before them, which establishes the link between landlessness, drought, indebtedness and illiteracy to bondage. They start perceiving and internalizing the importance of this link in their day to day lives, and they take a solemn pledge to become fully functionally literate, not to run to money lenders and not to get indebted and bonded. The next episode, a literacy learning center where Devdasis are attending in Maharashtra and Karnataka. This system is in vogue in different names. In Andhra Pradesh it is called Jogini, in Maharashtra and Karnataka it is called Devdasi. As the Devdasis start perceiving and internalizing the harrowing consequences of the Devdasi and Jogini system through the lessons which are imparted to them in the adult literacy learning center, they take a pledge that they would not allow their daughters to become Devdasis in future. The learning at the literacy center gives them this unusual courage and strength to fight a perverse system which has been persisting for generations and which is responsible for much of their misery and suffering. Next, the setting Midnapur district adult literacy learning center at the end of a village in that district. A literate and educated person who contracts leprosy is ostracized by the village community. Now, he starts running an adult literacy learning center at the end of the village. Such is the extent of sincerity and devotion of this person that a large number of adult learners start attending the center despite the ostracization, and eventually the village folk, that is the members of the village community, when they watch the unusual devotion and dedication with which the literacy learning program is being conducted by this instructor, despite the fact that he has contracted leprosy and he was ostracized by them earlier, they welcome him back to the village fold. This is yet another example which shows how people who are attending adult literacy learning centers get totally committed to the ethos and culture of a state and therefore are determined to learn the language of that state which is not their language. This relates to the Muslim minorities. They are domiciled in a state like Karnataka. They have assimilated the history and culture of the state. They show unusual interest to learn the state standard language which is Kannada, even though their own mother tongue is Urdu and Arabic, so that they can eventually identify themselves with the state mainstream. Yet another moving episode, the setting a literacy learning center in Bardhaman district. The place is Durgapur, where a steel plant is located. Now, the learners who are attending the center happen to be landless agricultural laborers. They have acquired sufficient strength, courage and confidence. Now, the contractor somehow wants to oust them and wants to bring laborers from outside. Such is the impact of learning through this adult literacy learning center, that the landless labourers and learners muster enough courage and strength to foil the attempt of the contractor, and they continue to remain his workers. I would now like to share with you the silver linings in Sakhyar Bharat. Now, this is the new version of campaigns for total literacy under the aegis of the National Literacy Mission, which was launched by the Prime Minister of India on 8th of September 2009. This is a new centrally sponsored scheme. It was introduced during the 11th 5-year plan, and the thrust was on rural areas, SC, ST, linguistic, cultural and religious minorities. It seeks to reduce the literacy gaps between urban and rural areas, male and female. It places emphasis on financial literacy, legal literacy and electoral literacy. All these three forms of literacy are extremely important and relevant in the life of an unlettered adult learner. Sakhyar Bharat also seeks to integrate lifelong learning and skill training through adult education centers or AECs to accomplish the goal of digital and skilled India, which is the vision of present Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi. Problems, constraints and challenges of Sakhyar Bharat. Sakhyar Bharat will be completing 8 years on the coming International Literacy Day, that is 8th September 2017. It may be appropriate to analyze the various problems and constraints which have inhibited the pace and momentum of Sakhyar Bharat despite best of intentions with which this was launched. First, delayed release of funds and consequences thereof. Under the NLM TLC, funds were being placed directly by the NLMA at the disposal of Jilla Sakhyarta Samiti. Funds under Sakhyar Bharat are being placed at the disposal of SLMAs or State Literacy Mission Authorities. From State Literacy Mission Authority, the funds are being channelized to the districts. This takes some time, understandably, and delay in transfer of funds to the actual implementation unit, adversely affecting the program. Together with changes in the accounting procedure, this gives rise to inordinate delay in sanction and release of funds. Any such delay is bound to bring in demoralization and demotivation of a large number of functionaries at the ground level. This therefore requires attention and correction. Second, need for professional help discounted. The pace, tempo and gusto of TLCs used to be closely appraised earlier by a pre-appraisal mission, which was a collective body comprising representatives of NLMA, BGVS in the formative years of TLC, that is 1990-92. Such an assessment brought out an accurate and realistic picture of the status of the TLCs on the ground. The pre-appraisal missions have since been dispensed with. In their absence, professional evaluation of the ground level situation remains a big question mark. Services of qualified and experienced professionals are no longer being taken on professional basis. In their absence, DG NLMA as the Chief Executive Officer of Sakhyar Bharat remains without much professional support at the grassroots level, as was earlier the case. Third, dilution in content and duration of the program. The multigraded and integrated IPCL primers, which were 3 in numbers, have been replaced by a main primer and a breeze primer, numbering only 2. This dilutes the principle of progression in learning from stage to stage. The duration of teaching learning in Sakhyar Bharat has been fixed at 300 hours. This is considered inadequate for acquisition of the desired levels of proficiency in reading, writing and arithmetic. Numerically and according to the annual report of the Department of School Education and Literacy for 2014-15, about 1 crore literacy centers are functioning in different states in the country. 54.21 million learners have been enrolled in these centers at the basic literacy stage. 1.52 lakh adult education centers have been set up in 1.52 lakh gram panchayats. These, however, are yet to become vibrant centers of lifelong learning and skill training, which were envisaged to be important objectives of setting up an adult education center. Now, evaluation of learning outcome in Sakhyar Bharat. This is an extremely important theme. It is a positive and proactive dimension in Sakhyar Bharat. The principal target of Sakshar Bharat is to impart functional literacy to 70 million unlettered adults in the age group of 15 and beyond. Auxiliary target of the program is to cover 1.5 million adults under basic education and equal number under vocational skill development program. In the NLM TLC, the assessment of learners was conducted by the volunteer literacy instructor and certificate was also being issued by him or her. There was no recognition and value of that certificate in the society. Learners' assessment for evaluating core competencies of basic literacy including reading, writing and arithmetic is one of the important quality indicators of Sakshar Bharat program. There is a national examination body, that is National Institute of Open Schooling NIOS, to whom the responsibility for conducting assessment of test of learners has been entrusted. This responsibility is being discharged by NIOS in close collaboration with the Directorate of Adult Education, Government of India and State Resource Centres numbering 32. The first assessment was conducted on a pilot basis on 20th August 2010 with the support of State Resource Centres in 17 states UTs. Since then 12 tests have been conducted by NIOS and I would like to share with you the dates when these tests were conducted. The first test 6th March 2011, second 20th August 2011, third 18th March 2012, fourth 26th August 2012, fifth 17th March 2013, sixth 25th August 2013, seventh 9th March 2014, eighth 24th August 2014, 9th 15th March 2015 and 10th 23rd August 2015, 11th 20th March 2016 and 12th 21st August 2016. The 13th test has also been conducted in March 2017, but the results are yet to be published. Over 4 crore or 40 million adults have been assessed since 20th August 2010 for their competency in literacy through a process developed and administered by NIOS. 73% of those assessed have been certified as literate, many of whom are young women and men ready to enter the workforce. I would now like to end this presentation by sharing with you in retrospect and prospect. Over the years, TLCs have been found to be a well tested and well proven strategy for eradication of illiteracy and promotion of functional literacy. Between 5th May 1988, when NLM was formally launched, and 8th September 2009, when Sakshar Bharat was launched, till date, over 150 million unlettered persons have been made functionally literate. This is only an approximate number. The overall rate of literacy has also registered an appreciable improvement from 52% in 1991 to 72.99% at the close of 2011 decennial census. This is no doubt an appreciable increase in the percentage of literacy. There is also an appreciable increase in the number of literates. This increase has regretfully been neutralized by increase in population to 130 crores on the one hand and entry of a large number of out of school children and dropouts who have crossed childhood, entered adulthood and added to the ranks of unlettered adults. India continues to have the single largest number of unlettered persons, which is in the vicinity of about 300 million in the whole world. So, what therefore could be the way forward or the direction ahead? The 12th 5-year plan has already come to an end on 31st March 2017. From all available indicators, there may not be any 13th 5-year plan. The life of Sakshar Bharat has been extended initially for a period of 6 months with effect from 1st April 2017. Further extension will be contingent on the outcome of an appraisal being separately undertaken. This sets in a lot of uncertainty in terms of availability of resources of the desired size to reach 80% of literacy, which was the goal envisaged at the time of launching of Sakshar Bharat by the Prime Minister of India on 8th September 2009. Despite the elements of uncertainty, it needs to be stated and restated that through both NLM TLC, which was operated between 1988 and 2008 and later Sakshar Bharat, which was launched on 8th September 2009 and which continues till date, India has reached a significant stage in terms of acquisition of literacy and numeracy levels. We need to use the positive fallouts as a springboard and surge ahead to sustain the momentum. We need to adopt a two-pronged strategy to provide an impetus to the following. First, eradication of illiteracy. Second, promotion of functional literacy and continuing education or lifelong learning and skill training. First, vigorous implementation of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan to contain the phenomenon of dropouts, improve retention and boost achievement of the desired levels of proficiency in mother tongue, arithmetic, science and environment studies. This will prevent accretion to the ranks of unlettered adults. Second, formulation of a perspective plan 2017-2022 for promotion of functional literacy, continuing education and lifelong learning and skill training. The following may be the components of the perspective plan. The findings of 2011 decennial census in regard to number of literates and unlettered persons is already 6 years old. Significant changes would have taken place during this long interregnum. An intensive door-to-door household survey is therefore required to be conducted to identify by using NLM norms the latest number of unlettered persons. The identified non-literates are to be enrolled in the literacy centers which have been opened under Sakshar Bharat since September 2009. Depending on the number of non-literates as identified in course of the survey, the number of basic literacy centers may have to be substantially augmented. The third, Sakshar Bharat envisaged adult education centers to be multifunctional entities with multiple functions, and it is of use to share with you these functions. First, Center for Registration of Learners. Second, NORB Center for Total Literacy Campaign including identification of learners and volunteers. Third, matching and batching of the learners with suitable volunteers as well as their training. Fourth, providing literacy kits to learners and volunteers and keeping track of the pace and progress as also the momentum achieved by each learner volunteer group. And next, Center for Thematic Courses on behalf of various departments of government such as agriculture, animal husbandry and veterinary, fisheries, forest, horticulture, sericulture, handloom, handicrafts, food and civil supplies, health, education, rural development, urban development, women and child development, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward caste welfare, Panchayati Raj, science and technology. Library and reading room and venue for group discussion and continuing education. This is an extremely important activity for which we had set up JSNs or Jan Shikshan Nilayams under the TLC NLM. Now, in the current dispensation they are called Jan Shikshan Sanstans or JSS, and this activity needs to be continued in a vigorous manner through all JSS. Then Vocational and Skill Development Center for promoting large number of skills such as life skills, communication skills, survival skills, leadership skills, managerial, entrepreneurial and supervisory skills and so on. And also a center for promoting sports and adventure, recreational and cultural activities. Regretfully, even though all these activities were envisaged to be undertaken through AES, only a minuscule of them have been undertaken, and in terms of number and activity most of the AECs remain inadequate and ineffective. Skill development in AECs has been unfortunately a non-starter for many years. We need a massive program for converting AECs into multifaceted activity centers including skill training, which is the prime need of the hour, since we have a new national policy on skill training. We have Prime Minister's Kaushal Vikas Yojana and we have skill development missions obtaining in different states. So, therefore, this link between basic literacy, continuing education, lifelong learning and skill training has to be established through the adult education centers. Adult neoliterates who graduate from the AECs with a modicum of some skill would certainly need to refine and sharpen them. This will be possible under PM KVY or Prime Minister's Kaushal Vikas Yojana once the proposed link is established. The nitty-gritty of acquisition of skills through AECs and other skill development and training institutions needs to be worked out in the perspective plan. Integrating lifelong learning, skill training, enhancing employability of adult neoliterates and job creation for engaging jobless adults into full, freely chosen and productive employment, which is the theme of ILO Convention number 122 of 1964, which India has ratified, is the ultimate answer to the problem of adult illiteracy and unemployment and poverty. MHRD will have to work in close tandem with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. I would now like to sum up what I have shared with you in part 2 of this module, Total Literacy Campaign under National Literacy Mission. This module helps the learners to understand all the positive fallouts of TLCs, which have been collected through large number of evaluation studies which have been ably documented. It introduces the learners to Sakshar Bharat scheme of Government of India with an in-depth analysis of the silver linings, problems, constraints and challenges. At the end, it throws some light on the future course of action through a 5-year perspective plan 2017-2022, which is yet to be formulated.